Before we start, if you like the content, then please like, share and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon. Hello traders, let us take a look at what we are expecting tomorrow and what is the plan, what are the different support resistance levels. So if you are looking at the monthly chart, again we have the same lines that we had as of yesterday. We did come up in this area in the 5330 to the 5340 area, and then we dump back down to 5266 again. We'll have to see if we are breaking this 5247 area again, and then we can actually see if we can come down to this 5120 area, which is the low of this month currently. However, there will be some more supports in this area. So we will take a look at them as we go into the lower time frames. In the meantime, we will have to also remember that if we are above the 5300 level, that is actually above the June open. One thing that we will have to keep in mind is this 5300 level. If we are above this 5300 level, we may actually try to get to this 5323 level again, and crossing above that, we may again come to this 30 to 40 area, and then we will see if we can get above to this 5361 level. So that is all the information that we have on the monthly chart as of now. Nothing else has changed. Today was again a trading range. So now let us move on to the weekly chart and see what we have there. Looking at the weekly chart, we did go up towards the open of the week, but we got rejected towards the weekly EMA, and then we started coming back down again. We actually went below the middle of the week, and then we bounced from there again. So since we have bounced, now we'll have to see whether this 5234 area breaks down again. If this 5233 area breaks down, then we may find some support in the 5205 area again. After that, our next support will be in this micro gap that we have right here, which is between 5167 to 5155, and then finally we can come down to this 5120 area, which was already the low of this week. On the upside, we will again have to see if we can get above this 5298 level. This will be a resistance area that we will have right here. I will mark it as a sell zone on the weekly chart. If we get above this and then we can hold above 5300, then there will be a possibility that we get up to the 5313, 5330 areas again. Try to break out of this high, try to break out of this EMA, and then finally go towards the 5374 line where the close of Friday was. One thing that we need to remember is this is a very solid leg down, right? We have 5-bar micro channel, although this bar is not yet over. We just had the second day of the week, but I am thinking that once we take out some highs, there is a possibility that we can have one more leg down on the weekly chart. It can be sideways to down, it can stay in this area, and then we will start moving up again. So that is something that we will have to see how the market is dealing with it. So how this week ends, we will only get to know on Friday, and then we will try to analyze whether we are going to get a second leg down or we are getting into a reversal mode and we can come up to the 50% of this whole move, which is around the 542021 area. So that is all that we have on the weekly chart. I will save this weekly chart. Anyways, the links to all these multi-time frame charts are shared in the description below. Let us now move on to the daily chart. Now looking at the daily chart, we are clearly in a trading range, right? We have a large wick at the top, we have a large wick at the bottom. So this is just a hallmark of a trading range, and this whole bar is a trading range bar. We did go up to the highs and then we failed and we came down back again. We came below this 5250 line but recovered, and we are sitting above 5266 area now. So now what we will be looking at, if we can get above this line again, which is the 5313 line, and if we are actually holding this area here, there is a high possibility that on the daily chart we can come up to the 5313 line again. And if we can break over this, then we will try to hit this area once again, and once this area hits, we will see if it moves up further and tries to get to the close of Friday, and above that we can come back to this area again, which was a balance zone at some point of time. On the downside, if we are breaking below this line and we are holding this area, then we may come down to this 5215 level again. We may find support in the 5221 area as well. So I will mark this area as a buy zone at this point of time, since we have bounced off of that. And if we fail this area now, then there is a big possibility that we keep coming down. We may find some support at 5206 again below this 5215 line, and after that our next support will be the 5188 area. Once the 5198 area breaks down, we'll come to this 88 area, and then we can come down and test this box down here, which is another micro gap that we had on the daily. And if that area does not hold, then we will come back to this 5120, which is the low of the week, and then we will see if we are going coming down further. But again, as I said, based on the ATR, I do not think we will go down much more below this, and we will stay within this trading range for the rest of the week. So we will have to be very careful. We will have to see what are the different trading ranges that are getting formed, and we need to mark out the lower 33% and the higher 33% of that trading range, and then try to find buyers in the lower section and sellers in the upper section. If you also notice that we got rejected close to the 5 EMA on the daily chart, and the 5 EMA right now is at 5320. So even if you're coming up, this 5320 line, which is the 5 EMA on the daily, may act as a resistance again, and we can dump back down from there again, and then we will have to see if we are breaking down this 5312 level, and then we may come to 5300, and this trading range may continue for a few days till we break out of here. So that is what we have on the daily chart as of now. Let us now move on to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we see that we had the first high, we had the second high, we had the third high. So this has kind of created a wedge here right now, and then we can expect that there can be a couple of legs sideways to down from here on the 4-hour chart. But this is a very important line on the 4-hour chart, the 5238.5 line. This has to break down in order for the price to come in this box, which is the 5225 to the 5209 area. And if we break down of this, we can come down to this 5195 to the 5194 area, and if we break down this 5188, which is the bottom of this bar, 89.5, then we can actually come down and see this 5121 area as well. However, before we go down to this bottom, once again we may have some support at this point, which is a bull flag that we have on the 4-hour chart. We did go below that, but we immediately recovered, so this area will still hold as an area of support. On the upside, this is the 50% of the last 4-hour bar that we had, that is in the 5289 5290 area. So if we are holding this area and we keep going up, this is some place where trapped bulls here might want to come out, and once we reach here, we will have to see if we are falling back down, and we are going to get another leg here, and if this area holds, we might actually cross over 5300, get to the 5306 area, and then the 5313 to 15 area, and finally we can target the top of these areas again at 5323, and that may carry on to the 5340 or the 42 area again. If we draw this bottom trend line, you will see that we are in this kind of a channel. We are moving sideways, so the channel is not really strong, and this is highly possible that we are actually creating a bear flag here. This 4-hour drop was very strong. We are just having a pullback here, in my opinion. As long as we are not breaking out of this area, as long as we are not breaking out of this wedge, we cannot say that the bulls are back in control right now. So this is kind of a balance zone that we are creating on the 4-hour chart. We will have to look at the support resistance areas and then play level by level on the 4-hour chart. And if you notice, we broke out of this channel here on the downside. We broke out of the channel on the upside again. Now if we fall below this 5239 area, the 5228 area, then there will be a bigger chance that we will come down to create another extreme at least below the 5188 line. Now looking at this 1-hour chart, this also looks kind of trading range. This is the wedge again that we had on the 1-hour chart. We broke out of this channel, we came down here and we did another high, and thus created the wedge. And now we have this first leg down. I am expecting that there will be another second leg down below this, or we can get a double top here at the 5280 area and then drop back again. Now on the 1-hour chart, this 5265 to the 5262 area may work as a resistance because of these two candles. If you see, we are already getting rejected from there. If we can get above this, we will get to this 5280 line, and if we can get above the 5280 line, we will target the 9798 area again, 5297 to 5298, and above that we may come to this 5306 to the 5315 area, and then again if we can hold this level, we will try to get to the top again. Now this looks very much like a trading range, right? And if we say that this is the top of the trading range at 5302 and this is the bottom at 5233, so we are moving in between that, so it is highly possible that we can come back to this area, get rejected again, and start coming down towards the bottom of this trading range as well. Now if we break down this 5234 area, we will come back to this 5228 line, which was a line of interest that we had today morning as well, and then below that we can come to this 5216 area, failing which the price will come to 5205. It may get some support here between the 5205 0.05 to the 0.4 area, and then we will come down to the 9.496 area, followed by the 5.1869 line, and after that I do not have any support at this point before we reach 5.160 and further down. However, if the bears wants to get a 1:1 of this whole area, they will break down this 5.224, the 5.228 line, and then if this 1:1 has to be done, we may very highly come back to this 5.174 line. Now, if we look at the RTA chart right now, this 5.228 line was the line that we were interested in the morning. We can come down there, we can still find support. And if this 5.228 support breaks down, we may come down somewhere in this micro gap. This will be an area of support between 5.223 and 5.213, break of which can bring us to the 5.201 area. I would say the 5.206 to 5.205 to the 5.201 area. And then we will come to this double bottom area again at 5.192. If 5.192 gives up, then we will come to this 5.184 or 85 region, and then finally we will dump down to the 5.166, which is another important line, and then we can see 5.145 and then down below in the 5.120 area. So those are the supports that we have on the RTH 5-minute chart as of now. If we can get above this 5.280 area again, I would say 83.25 based on this latest box that we have here, then there is a possibility that we can get to this 9.94 to 9.8 zone, and then finally to the 0.5 to 10 zone, and then we will see if we can get above this kind of a double top that we had here at 53.20, and then we may come and hit this upper expanding triangle again. We try to get inside the expanding triangle that we had from here, and then immediately we got rejected. So now we'll have to see that if price comes above this line at some point of time and then gets rejected, then we will be assured that we may get another leg down. So if you see, we had the first leg down here, we had the second leg down here, so a third leg down is highly possible. So I will have a line marked for that, and we will see again tomorrow morning where we are based on that line. So those are the support and resistance levels that we have on the RTH 5-minute chart. Based on this analysis, we will come back again tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. EST and create our pre-market plans. If you want to join that call, the link to the Google Meet is given in the description below. Along with that, you will also find the link to our free Discord server and the Facebook page. You are very welcome to join there. You will also find the links to all these multi-time frame charts that we have been discussing. The links to all these are given in the description below as well. So with that, I'll end the video here today, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning at 8:45 a.m. EST. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.